In a world full of enemies and monsters that want to tear you apart, it is pleasant to see a friendly soul here and there, and Godlings are most certainly among them. They are childlike, both in personality and appearance, which makes it hard for them to survive in the cruel world of the Witcher. No wonder very few of them are left. The word Godling means a minor or local god, which applies to them perfectly. They're not powerful beings by any means, but they protect the area and people they live with in their own way, like a guardian soul. Now, let's talk about their appearance. They grow as high as a child. They stand like a human on two legs and use their hands as we do. They're not entirely like a human though. They have very large round eyes. Their face isn't as smooth and the color of their body is bluish. They also wear very few clothing items, with a crown on their head made out of branches. In Witcher 3, we see three of them. Johnny in the swamps, Sara in Novigrad in an empty house, and another one in Skellige. There isn't much information about them, but we can learn a lot through our encounters with them. First, let's talk about Johnny. The environment he lives in is full of drowners and waterheads. Crones also live in there, who are far more dangerous. Yet Johnny is able to live his normal life unbothered by their presence. He seems to have found a way to live in coherence with his environment, which he really likes. Also, he seems to have built a quite good relationship with the people living there, the wife of the Bloody Baron and orphans. He also participates in social events. In the night of Sabbath, we can find him at the bottom of the mountain. He is either very knowledgeable or is able to do some magic, as he has helped Gran on several occasions, like finding Yana when she got lost and breaking Granny's fever, all for nothing in return, showing his kind nature. The next Godling that we meet is Sara in Novigrad, which is strange as Godlings usually live in small settlements. She occupied an empty house, and when the owner decided to sell it, Sara made noises and moved the furniture around, making the owner think the house is haunted, showing how smart Godlings are, and the fact that they are able of harmless mischief. Later, when Corinne Tully goes to dream the history of the house, Sara controls and manipulates her dreams, making her see nightmares. Also, Corinne can't wake up, so Godlings have the power to keep people asleep. It is actually the only place we see manifestation of their power. Sara, the Godling, doesn't do it out of malevolence. She thinks she is playing with Corinne, but a game that Corinne doesn't seem to enjoy. Finally, we see another Godling in Skellige. What's interesting about her is that she teams up with other sentient monsters, a werewolf, a Doppler and a troll, to face Geralt for killing their kind. It shows that not only Godlings are good at communicating with people and building up relationships with them, they also can do it with other sentient beings. I forgot to say it in Johnny's section, but he had the ability to communicate with crows, and although it's not mentioned in the game, but it is highly probable that Godlings can communicate with other animals as well. So, in conclusion, Godlings can cure people, conjure dreams, communicate with people, monsters, and animals. They are kind and understanding creatures and help people who they live with. In short, they are guardian souls. Before talking about their mythology roots, let's read Witcher entry to learn more about them.
Not too long ago, the areas around peasant hamlets were chock full of guardian spirits. Today it's nigh unto impossible to spot a brownie, bucker or luton, and Godlings, they are always the first to go. Such is the price we pay for civilization's forward march from the preface to the world we have lost by Professor de Regeret. Godlings, sometimes mistaken for luton, are woodland creatures dwelling in burrows and moss-covered hollow stumps on the outskirts of human settlements. They are similar to children in behavior and appearance, and, like children, delight in mischief. Godlings are deeply rooted in their home territory and perform acts of care and guardianship to those dwelling near their burrows. They watch over people as well as animals, but shy creatures by nature, they try to do so while remaining unseen. Godlings are drawn to joy and innocence, and so delight in the company of children, and usually only show themselves to the young. These hard-working and clever creatures gladly perform small services for those in their care, asking only for respect and payment in the form of food or cast-off tools in return. They are easily offended by churlish, ungrateful, or simply rude behavior. Godlings also treasure their peace and quiet. When the village a godling watches over becomes too populous, or its inhabitants forget the old ways, it will abandon its burrow for good and walk off to destinations unknown.
In Slavic mythology, Godling was a friendly ghost responsible for the household. They were quiet and meek creatures that came into existence from the soul of dead children. They were believed to look like gnomes or simply very small people. They lived in houses with people but avoided the eyes of living. Compassionate women would often leave them a bowl of food, for which they repaid by guarding the house against both uninvited guests and the evil spirits lurking for the household members. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe, as it would help the channel grow. Right now the channel is small, but we hope by creating more exciting content for you, we can make our community bigger and bigger. Have a good day and farewell.